What's up, everybody? This is Batman. Today, we're going to be doing a cool review of Batman Mask of the Phantasm, a movie based on a pretty kick-ass show that ran on Fox Kids called Batman, the Animated Series. By the way, have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? What's up, everybody? This is Batman, and today, we're going to be looking at Batman Mask of the Phantasm. This is why Superman works solo. Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. I was gonna try to do the review as one of those movie Batmans with a terrible impression of them, but you know what? Let's just do it as just myself. What's up, everybody? This is Cool Dude, and as we already know, it's gonna be a cool review of Batman Mask of the Phantasm, which actually recently released on Netflix, and I'm literally doing this review. I'm recording it 10 minutes after I just saw the film on Netflix. I was pumped because Batman the Animated Series is an awesome show, and you know, has the best Batman, Kevin Conroy, has the best Joker, Mark Hamill in it. And I saw it, and how did it turn out? Where do I begin? This movie is awesome, guys. Alright, so let's just go over a brief summary. No spoiler free, you know. So, basically, in this movie, the Phantasm, there's this new villain in town named the Phantasm that seems to be killing off random gangsters. And, you know, people don't really know why, but from a because they don't really know what he looks like, because he doesn't show himself that often, but from a distance, he looks like Batman, so everyone, including the cops, assume that it's Batman. So the cops really try to chase down Batman and try to find out why he's killing off all these gangsters for some weird reason. And then one of the gangsters that's being hunted down by the Phantasm ends up running into the Joker, and he actually brings him into this to try to take down whoever is causing all these murders down before, you know, the gangster gets killed off next, or even the Joker. So, you know, Batman has to not only figure out what who the Phantasm is, why he's killing it, but he also has to outrun the police and stop the Joker from, you know, getting to him, and, you know, all that good stuff, all the great Batman stuff. And he even runs across an old flame of his named Andrea, who has recently returned to Gotham, and she's finally going to be reunited with Batman, and so he has all that to deal with. And we get some flashbacks, you know, alluding to him and Andrea's relationship before he became Batman. And we even get some pretty cool stuff with him turning into the Batman, which, considering this was released before Batman Begins, that was pretty cool to see for the first time. And yeah, the rest of the movie is pretty much Batman trying to solve the mystery of the Phantasm, him trying to outrun the police, him trying to, you know, just outrun the Joker. He's trying to outrun everybody in this movie. So let's get to the pros, because there are a lot of them. Honestly, this is a near perfect movie. I can't really fault this movie too much, so let's just get to the pros right away. Numero uno is the animation is gorgeous, obviously, and not only is it gorgeous because it's based off the animated series, which its animation already is pretty cool, but it definitely, you can tell the budget is a lot higher, and they can allow for much more fluent movements and a lot more smoother animation, because their expressions just leap off the screen more compared to the animated series. So I really love the animation in this movie. Not only that, the score is awesome. Like, the orchestra that surrounds everything, it just makes everything so much more intense. Like, there's a certain scene with Batman, and I won't give it away, it's a pretty crucial moment to his transformation, Bruce Wayne's transformation into Batman, and the music behind it is so good. It, like, reassures you that it's a pretty big moment. It reassures you that it's an awesome moment, and I love the music behind it. Way better than it needs to be for a, you know, very short movie. And another thing is that I love the mystery behind it, but because I like Batman movies. I mean, I love The Dark Knight. I love the Tim Burton Batman. Hell, I like the sequel to that one, Batman Returns, even though people say it's bad, but I love that. But the problem with all of them is that there's not really a good mystery. At least none that the audience can't figure out as well, you know? Because, you know, he's supposed to be the world's greatest detective, but there really isn't that much mystery to solve in half of the movies. But this one is actually a really good mystery. It has clues, it has drama, it has twists, it has turns, it has unexpected changes in, you know, the data. So he has to, like, you know, reevaluate his choices and reevaluate his mind decisions about who is who and who is really the Phantasm, who's behind all this. And it's a really good mystery. It's really well built up and leads to a pretty good payoff, in my opinion, about who really is the Phantasm. I'm not going to say it's like the best told mystery ever. I mean, it is only an hour, 70 minutes, but still, it's a pretty good mystery for a Batman movie. And also the action is really good. The animation and the fight scenes are great. There's not that many of them in this movie, not as much as you would think, but when it does get going, it's really good. Like, it's very fast, it's smooth, but it also, you feel the impact of every punch and swing, so the fight scenes are well, animated as well and well handled. Also, for the time period, I like, Batman. All the characters, what I'm trying to say is the voice actors portray their characters very, very great. Kevin Conroy is obviously a great Batman. Mark Hamill's Joker, I will never get tired of hearing that laugh or his voice. Awesome. And even the other characters like Andrea, Commissioner Gordon, some of the police officers, they do a great job with their voices as well. And that's really cool. And like I said before, it delves into his Bruce Wayne's happier moments with Andrea in the flashbacks, and I really like that. That's another pro for me, because I like seeing Bruce Wayne in his more happier moments. It really helps to establish Bruce Wayne more as a person, as opposed to just him being Batman. Like, what led up to it, and how did he become Batman, and what was his inspiration, what was his motivations, Like, it shows a lot more of his transformation, which, considering this was way before Batman Begins Again, which was the true movie that really set up Batman's, origin story, this was pretty good. Pretty good, first for Batman in terms of the movies. So, those are all the pros, and those are some pretty big ones. But let's get to the very, 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 very few cons this movie has. But there are very few. So let's look them over, shall we? Con number one is that it is an hour and 17 minutes, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. There are a lot of good movies. I'm looking at you, The Grinch, even though I don't know if that's a movie. It's really more of a TV special, but that are really good, despite them having a short runtime. But so I'm not saying it's bad by any means, but I'm saying it does feel like it could be paced a lot better. What I'm saying is that there are a lot of huge plot points, there are a lot of huge, like emotional moments, there are a lot of huge investment moments that don't really feel like they hit hard, but they don't feel like they hit as hard as they're supposed to hit, Because it's only an hour and 17 minutes. They kind of have to keep the story going at a nice pace to try to, get through the runtime. There is quite a bit to get through in this movie, so the pacing, I think, could have been a little bit better, considering that. And, there are a few moments where it just feels like they just cut from, they'll go from one action scene and they'll suddenly go to a flashback and flashback, so in that sense, I'm like, okay, this pacing is kind of weird, so, but it is an hour and 17 minutes, so what can you do? Also, I could have used a little bit more time with the Phantasm. Not that he's underused. I mean, he's a pretty good big part of the story. That's why it's called Mask of the Phantasm. But in terms of him actually showing up, I could have used a little bit more with him. But that really is just my opinion. That's a big nitpick for me. And the whole sort of style kind of changes a lot. In terms of the gritty. It goes from gritty realism to sort of this campy fun stuff. But I get it. It's supposed to be for kids and adults, and I think it does it great. But I'm saying it can get a little confusing. But honestly, those are the only problems I see with this movie. I give this a 4.5 bat logos out of 5. 4.5 out of 5, just because it's near perfect, but I do have to say the pacing is a bit off, and that really brings it down by 0.5 to me. But if it was just paced a lot better, if it was a little bit longer, this would have been a perfect Batman movie. I love the pacing, love it. And despite the fact that I did say it is based off the Batman, the animated series, if you're a Batman fan, you can still watch this movie. You'll still get Joker and the Batman's whole relationship. And hell, even if you're not a Batman fan, maybe if you're just a comic book fan, I think you could still follow it relatively fine as just a simple, fun, action movie, because you can pretty much put together what Batman and Joker's relationship are in this movie. You can follow Batman as a likable hero. You can follow all the mysteries behind it because it's so good. And you can follow the action scenes because it's built up so good. So, but non-Batman fan, Batman fan, or even the animated series fan, which could be a lot better because you'll actually laugh when, Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy's Batman and Joker are interacting with each other because their history. But even if you aren't, you could still watch this movie, which I do appreciate. It's very watchable even if you haven't watched the animated series or even like Batman. So, great characters, great acting, great animation, great fight scenes, and I'm so glad that Netflix brought this movie into their service, which you should absolutely watch. It really didn't get a lot of attention when it was first released, and I'm really sad that it didn't now that I've seen it, because it's so awesome. Sorry, I hit my glasses. But guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I don't know how this review will get, because I'm highly doubt any of you guys have even heard of this one, at least until Netflix released it. So I'd like to see your thoughts on this movie. you know, just if you haven't seen it, please go watch it, and then let me know down in the comments what you thought of the movie. If you liked the review, please leave a like, and until next time, guys, stay cool, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye, y'all.